On Urban Caribbean Music. Radio. Spark FM.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Okay, let's see what we got. Let me see. Can you hear me? Check. I can't hear you. Check. There we go.
I'm good?
Yeah, now you're good. Now you're good. You had some extra press. Yes, okay. All right. As you can see, we are completely changed around
Yeah,
today.
we good though.
We are changed. We got a whole new crew in here.
We gonna make it happen.
Tristan and Tony have been fired.
Yo, I'm sad that fight happened. You know, I hope the family can survive this.
Yep. I hope so too.
Just don't drink people's milk. You know what I
Exactly.
mean? If you're gonna drink milk, drink the whole milk. Don't
And
leave
they
a little bit in the carton.
And they apple juice that they
Yeah.
put their name on in the refrigerator.
Damn, Tony.
What was that from? That was from Barbershop?
I don't know.
Barbershop with Eve.
That's a throwback.
Yes. When she was
Don't
mad.
touch your apple juice.
Don't
Don't touch your apple juice. You gonna get fired.
But no, both Tony and Tristan today are literally sick.
Yep.
In the head. They are sick. They got whatever is going on. Everybody's sick right now. The whole entire world is sick right now. Good morning, Janet. Good morning, August. How you guys doing? I was just about to head over there and check on y'all 2 days in a row. Yeah, man. They man down. Unfortunately.
Spark FM is resilient.
We are. We bounce back. And they can't blame it on me. I was sick 2 weeks ago.
I
So it wasn't me.
mean, the outbreak monkey was the first one to get sick.
Yeah, but didn't he get everybody sick immediately right after? This can't be on me.
All I know, I'm staying 6 feet away from you this whole time.
No, good now. You should have worried about one that was having a good old time.
Yeah, you
having
had us
big
outside, yo. That is your fault.
fun. Having big fun. I'm so sorry you
outside.
couldn't come to the bar crawl.
Right.
It was so
Real
great.
sad.
It was so great.
Litty lit.
Lit. We do have a great show for you guys today. We do have a special interview coming up a little bit later today. We will be interviewing Jamaica Hairston. And Jamaica is a trap queen or an ex-trap queen. She was one of America's queen pins. One of the baddest, most sophisticated drug queen pins or
Really?
aka kingpins in ever. She has been featured on BET Trap Queens.
Yeah.
I think on Netflix.
I'm assuming all her
CBC.
legal stuff is behind
Yeah,
her. That's
she's
all we
now
can
an
talk about it.
evangelist and
Okay,
everything like
okay,
that.
yeah,
She
yeah.
served 12 years in prison.
Really?
For everything that she was doing. And, we'll get into her story a little bit later.
Can't wait.
She'll be joined by Miss Yana Bean, who you guys have seen before. She was also featured on Trap Queens. And they are doing a recidivism program, teaching people about, what's going on or what's going to happen after prison and what can happen. So we'll talk more about that later on today.
I love those stories.
Yeah, me too.
Growth.
Huh?
I said it sounds like true growth.
Yeah, exactly. That's the kind of things that we are trying to get in and teach people about life and how this thing called life works. Per usually, we'll get into our stories.
Well, before we do that,
Yeah.
how are you?
Quick
Yes.
check-in.
Quick
I'm
check-in.
good. I'm feeling good.
Yeah.
I woke up with a really bad headache today, but I popped 2 ties. That's Tylenol.
Mm-hmm.
And
That's a Tylenol you buy at Target.
you
You buy your Tylenol at Target, it's ties.
ties.
Yeah.
So I'm feeling a little bit better. And then you know what my problem is this week? I've had at least 3 donuts.
Wait, for the week?
Yes.
Is that a problem? 'Cause
Yes.
I feel like I had 3 donuts this morning.
You're not supposed to be eating donuts. But the regular glazed donuts are just so lit that I don't really know if I can not eat them. They're just so soft and cakey.
Yeah,
with
I can't eat glazed donuts.
What do you eat?
I can't eat nothing glazed, yo.
Why?
This is a big pause moment.
What?
What?
I work at Dunkin', so I eat like
Do
5
you?
donuts a day.
Do you?
Oh, you the
I'm
plug.
down the street.
Yo, where's our donuts at? We should have a dozen donuts right here, right now. What's going on?
Don't you come back to this station without some donuts.
I was thinking of doing that this morning, but I was running a little late. So I was like, okay, let me just get McDonald's. Give me a frappe.
But that's good to know, honey. That's good to know because listen, I run on Dunkin's.
Yeah.
Dunkin's tea. I run on it. Like sometimes in the middle of the night, not middle of the night. Like if I'm coming home late, I don't want no other food.
Oh, you a tea drinker?
Donut.
You don't do coffee, you do tea?
Yeah, I hate coffee.
It keeps you up, like does it do the job? But you don't drink coffee for the taste.
Yes, I do.
I drink coffee for just to keep me up.
No.
I got a breakfast right there. You said coffee tastes like
Yo, so who do we have in the studio today?
We got Jamaica and we got this girl you're talking about. Oh, you guys know Juliana. She came. I'm like, I already said who our special guest is. She ain't special no more. She been here once. After you come here once, you are automatically family. And you are a co-host, and that's it. But yeah, you guys remember Juliana, our young intern. She is back today to kind of keep us company. I had to call in the troops today because the other troops are out sick. So we have Super Woke Javi and Juliana. Do you have a radio name yet?
Jules.
Jules. We got Jules in the building and Super Woke Javi.
Yo.
Javi, how do you feel about the word woke?
I think it's hilarious. Like I used to like at first it was something that meant something, and now it don't mean nothing. And I was making so my name Super Woke was kind of like funny.
Because it's Afro, you're making fun more so of like Umar, Dr. Umar.
Yeah, the Umars, but not just the Umars.
The Hoteps and things.
But the Birkenstock wearers.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
Yo, everybody needs a safe space. Like I'm a progressive. Like I'm
what's
a
up,
Democrat.
Queen?
Yeah, but I'm a black dude with some conservative roots, yo.
Yes.
So I'm kind of, I'm in between.
Yeah.
And I read books, so I'm super woke.
I feel like DeSantis and them has taken the word woke and made it very, very broad and ridiculous. Yeah. And I think that they didn't get the concept of what woke was, so they started using it wrong, like colonizers do. Yeah. So I just don't.
That's the problem, because woke means something important, right? Like it's like, yo, you're awake to like the pain that others face in their community, and you're awake to the struggles, and you're awake to all the stuff about whatever, right? And now for the Republicans, it's just like every Democrat, everybody they disagree with is supposedly a woke warrior,
or like any type of equality or equity that anybody wants that's other than white is woke, and it just seems very watered. I think they did what they wanted to do, make it very watered down, and gave it such a nasty connotation. And I've been thinking about asking you that for a long time now. Yeah.
I got a lot of things to say about that, to be honest with you. I'll wait for the political segment.
We're going to have to start that back up on Tuesdays here at Spark FM. But in the sake of time, let's get into our news stories. Damn it. I'm going to give you my computer in a second. I'll get into the round the way news, and then for national news, then I'll have you kind of read, Juliana. Okay. So Boston's public health officials warns about fentanyl-laced cocaine overdoses near Nubian Square. So I was looking, if you guys know Stockos came in to talk to us not too long ago. We'll have to bring them in. Stockos is a community-based, almost like, I wouldn't call them ambulance chasers. They don't chase the ambulance. They have a
Are they a law firm?
No, they have a police scanner that they can hear everything, so they kind of tell everybody what's going on.
They're like community watch almost.
Yeah. And they don't go follow anything. They just hear it on the scanner and just kind of report what's going on.
Local news.
Yeah. And the other day they reported about how there's just so many dead bodies being found everywhere.
Wait, what?
Yeah, just dead bodies, but mostly like around Mass and Cass.
Well, we talked about it. So I remember a few like a month or so ago, we were talking about Mass and Cass and about that population there, and then we also talked about the fact that there's a strong possibility that people are getting murdered regularly out there, and nobody knows about it.
Yeah,
right?
Because how would you know if it's murder versus somebody sitting in the tent for like 3 days dead, and you don't know if it's an overdose or if you don't know somebody overdosed them.
Yeah, and that's another reason why, like when us in the community well, I live in Brockton now, but I grew up in Roxbury. I actually grew up right next to Mass and Cass. But when we talk about the fact that we don't want these people making our community look like that, or they should be in places more suitable for what they need, their needs or whatever, it's not just us not wanting these people making our community look ugly or whatever it is. It's safety for them too. Like, they're out there, there's nobody there helping them.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Like, there's bad people out there that and there's a lot of young women, a lot of young men out there that are victims, right? And nobody's doing anything about it. And I'm glad this is why local news is so important. That's why Spark FM is so important.
Hello.
Because that tells you what's going on in the community.
Here are some possible overdose inside a lobby on West Newton Street near Washington. BPDS and EMS alerted overdose gent down by a lovely swan boat ducks. Overdose corner of Mass Ave and Melnia Cass. Overdose cardiac arrest near Atkinson Street. Another overdose with his needle self-stab in his vein.
That's crazy.
Found dead body in a pit by the MBTA station. Like, there's just so many of them that are just triple overdose, everyone down, some foaming at the mouth. Caller's mom and dad called and said that there is OD overdose. Found and unconscious in a building. Mom is foaming at the mouth. I'm like, yo, what's happening?
Yeah.
Okay. What's happening?
I have just a little bit background
Yeah.
information. So one, I feel like it comes down to like the police and how they're handling situations, because there's literally a police station right across Nubian, like right across, and there's still stuff happening every day.
Every day.
That's number one. And number two, I heard some little information that like because China and the U.S. is going through a little bit of like conflict, they stopped and cut the heroin traffic. So what they're bringing in is like fentanyl and like worse stuff, and that's not drugs.
That makes sense.
So maybe this goes with this story. Let's get into this story. A concerning level of presumed opioid-related overdoses in one of Boston neighborhood is being blamed on fentanyl-laced cocaine. Boston Public Health Commission issued an advisory to city health care providers, alerting them about the concerning number of people in the Nubian Square area who believed they were using cocaine. BPHC blames the overdose on the increasing presence of fentanyl within the cocaine supply. In 2021, the state detection program found 12% of cocaine samples tested in Boston flagged positive for fentanyl. That's crazy.
That's nuts.
Fentanyl is a highly dangerous substance that even in small amounts can lead to a fatal overdose. So we urge all residents, healthcare providers, recovery workers, and outreach workers to remain vigilant for signs of opioid overdose, including among individuals who are using cocaine. I think that one of the other problem is that I don't believe in safe injection spaces. It's something that I'm not for. Yeah. And I believe that when you have these, you're pretty much telling people, hey, bring your drugs in and use them here and we can revive you. So there's no need to be careful. There's no need to really kind of protect myself if I can just go in this safe drug area and somebody somewhere will help me just in case I do overdose. So what does it matter if I'm doing just regular cocaine or fentanyl and cocaine?
So I'm of two minds when it comes to like those safe injection spaces, because like it's clear that something needs to happen to prevent people from dying, right? If they're getting, for the same reason why like I tend to go to the dispensary more than I would nowadays, because I know that the stuff has been tested. It hasn't been in somebody's like underwear as they was transporting it. You know what I mean? Like, so I think that's one thing that can mitigate these deaths is safe injection areas, but if done properly.
But how do you done them properly?
Yeah, that's the hard part. I say legalize everything.
That's what I just thought of. I'm gonna keep it a buck at this point. There's so many people using it all over the world, and the reason why you have people dying from things like this is because they banned us. Yeah. And it all stems down to the government, all of that. But, like, you really have to get a lesson on the history and the knowledge of drugs and what they were doing and pumping it into the black community, but banning it to, like, try and put us away from it's a whole history. You really just gotta get into it.
That's the first time I heard legalize all of it.
Yeah. There's certain places that have done that.
I'm interested in
well, the fact that drugs are illegal, the fact that you can go to jail because you got high on something is crazy to me.
That is crazy. Not like you were distributing. That I was using it for myself on my own body.
Yeah. And I think this whole marijuana legalization effort proved a lot that the fact that weed was illegal for so long was kind of like crazy, right? And the fact that now that we can do it, I mean, it's not Sodom and Gomorrah or whatever people were saying was going to happen when they legalized weed, right? People are going to be doing these drugs anyways.
Yep.
Exactly.
And like you said before, this whole situation with China is actually true. Like, I don't know how it's affecting the drug traffic, but there are issues, and I know fentanyl and a lot of these drugs did come from China.
Exactly.
Probably the higher quality versions of it. And once those borders are closed, then they're going to get it from somewhere else because these people need their drugs.
I blame
TikTok.
TikTok.
Come up from the South.
You blame
South
America. TikTok. Explain to me TikTok. Yeah, young person.
I don't. Okay.
And why is it making you guys do drugs?
Okay. It's not that. It's just like you see other people doing it and they talk about how it's like a coping mechanism. And for some things it is. I'm not going to lie. But what a lot of these kids are going through is not serious problems for them to be like, I need a cope. You're depressed because you want to stay in bed all day and watch TikToks. Get up. Go to the gym, do something with your life, go to school, actually focus on school instead of hanging out in the bathroom and smoking. That's what it is. Y'all want to find ways to distract yourselves. And that's why I really don't mess with kids nowadays. My age, at least.
So I'm having a daughter. I'm gonna need you to be like her best friend growing up.
I'll be your daughter's godmother. I'll be all in her life. Like, you need to stay on track. You cannot be talking to any of these boys, distracting yourself, being in the bathroom, none of that, because that really just it brings you downward. Yeah, it really does. So it's just true.
But see, that mentality isn't common again, and then that's why people end up in these spirals and end up taking drugs, and end up doing all this crazy stuff because they don't have that mentality.
Exactly. So I be walking in the bathroom and the girls are sitting there scrolling on TikTok, smoking, doing whatever. I'm sitting here like, girl,
in the bathroom of the high school?
That's what I'm saying. Like, what is you doing? I don't care. I'm gonna snitch on every single one of y'all. Every single one of y'all. I don't care.
Snitchings.
Because when I was in high school, all I did was
what
read
are y'all
books.
doing?
No, boy, bye. All I did was read.
I just read books.
I'm not gonna lie. I used to be one of those girls, and that's why I just sit there. I'm like, why didn't you wake up from it? Yeah. Why didn't you get yourself together? Get off of social media. Go get you a bag instead of sitting here like, you know.
Facts.
There's better things to do than be scrolling on social media, in my opinion. Like,
I don't believe in that. Let me stop. I love social media. Let me stop. No, but there is. I think that with TikTok and things, I think there's just no filters on the things that you can see. Yeah. And I think that's what the problem is that anybody can say anything. And community guidelines only are for those who they don't like, I feel like that. Yeah. But, you know, like, I don't know.
I'm also not trying to make an attack on China and, you know, today, but also, like, they run everything that goes through. And the other day I was on live and I was spitting some real stuff. I was just telling ladies, like, you know, keep your legs closed. Men, do what you gotta do. Stop focusing on girls. Don't break your own heart. And they banned me for hateful speech. And I was just like,
sounds hateful to me.
Yeah.
Shoot.
Wow.
Yeah. How dare you tell men to do better?
How dare you make them hold the counter?
What's wrong with you?
A man tries to shoot his way into a burning Stoneham home to rescue trapped victims.
Oh, damn, that's a hero.
Her.
Hold up.
Mad money.
Yo.
And it was washed too. Hold on a second. 5, 6, 7, 8.
You what?
9.
You a dollar.
I just found $9.
Her.
Hello. That's mine.
Yo, Wendy's got the 2 for $6, yo. Let's go ball out.
Y'all say less. I got you. So a man tries to shoot his way into a burning building to rescue a trapped building. That's nice. Police and fire department in Stoneham responded to a house fire. Someone tried to shoot their way through a locked door to rescue a man trapped inside on Thursday. Emergency service received multiple calls about the fire and sounds of gunshot. One police sergeant who knew the family arrived in moments, according to statements released by Stoneham Fire Chief Matthew Grafton. The sergeant ran to the rear of the building where he found someone trying to shoot their way through the door. The sergeant secured the gun and tried to rescue the trapped man, but was pushed back by heavy smoke. Firefighters were able to rescue the man, who was rushed to the hospital. His condition is unknown. Wow.
So he just ran in there?
He didn't want to try to kick the door down. He wanted to shoot the door down. Maybe it was the lock that he was trying to.
I don't know. Maybe he watched too much movies.
Yeah, because that's what I imagined it in my head. Like, boom, boom, kicking the door can't kick in.
It don't work that way.
Yeah.
I feel like there's windows in that house too that he could have probably.
Right.
He probably could have.
He just wanted to be the hero that day.
Yeah, yo.
They want to know what grade. Oh, she's a senior in high school.
Yes.
Testing strips should not be next to public bathrooms. Paper towel.
Wait, what?
Testing strips?
For what?
For what? He saw too many. Yeah, that person definitely. You can't go out. You can't go against the programming, Jules. That's why they did that.
I noticed.
Yeah,
I noticed. I just sat back. I'm gonna be banned for the next 2 weeks, but I'm gonna come back again.
I've never been in any social media jail in my life.
Serious?
And I don't know, because I feel like the things that I've heard people go to social media jail for, I've done worse. And I feel like somebody
say something like, I'll slap that man on Facebook, you will definitely get banned.
Yo, I aired out this old white lady once.
Which
I don't know. I say that like her potato salad had raisins in there or something. I don't know. It was something crazy. She just ended up on my post and she say something about black people need to breed better. Something like that.
Right. Like they can say
And
these horrible things.
Oh, no, but I aired her out. But Facebook was like, I'll allow it. Yeah, I think somebody at Facebook likes my feed. That's what it is.
See, Jenna says she's gotten warnings, but they come later. Yeah, they will kind of scrub your page to find out anything else and hit you for that. But I went to Facebook jail for a lot of foolishness. Like I remember one time I'd be like, somebody give me $1, I'll send nudes or something like that, and they literally put me in jail for like 3 days.
I mean, you're soliciting. you're literally soliciting on Facebook. I would ban you too.
My intention wasn't to solicit. My intention was to get the $1.
No, I got you.
But
take that to Elon Musk's Twitter.
All of those things are the things that get you banned from all of these things. I've never gotten banned or anything or in jail from Twitter, but Facebook, obviously Facebook hates me because they shut down my life.
Yo, they got you.
They yoked me up, and that's
I have
crazy.
a theory about that, but I don't want to bring it up.
I heard that I was reported a lot.
Yeah, and at that time, he was kind of making trouble.
Yeah, it was making
a lot of trouble. It was good trouble.
It was good trouble, but I know that somebody in particular had a hand in it because I guess she went around confessing to people that she did. So,
good job.
Yeah. Master temporarily shut down system that adds fluoride to tap water. Don't we need fluoride for our teeth?
Listen, I've been in communities that don't have fluoride in their water, and their teeth aren't nice.
They aren't?
They aren't nice.
See, that's what I'm saying. I thought fluoride would be so. Officials are temporarily shutting down the system that adds fluoride to tap waters for communities in Boston area and Metro West. On their website, the Massachusetts Water Resource Authority describes how for about 90 days, the system's fluoride feed will be shut down as part of a project to replace portions of the fluoride feed, piping, and equipment at the Carroll Water Treatment Plant. While fluoridation is important for dental health, health officials indicate that this short-term shutdown does not require any special additional actions by consumers. The MWRA stated the water consumers would not need to take any special action during the next 3 months, including any change in oral health practices.
No, some of y'all need to start flossing.
Yeah.
Even before that, floss, put some mouthwash.
My dentist said that I've got one of the prettiest mouths he's seen. I didn't know if that was a come on or if he was really giving me a compliment. Either way, I was okay with it.
He was okay with it?
I was very fine with it.
With your mouth wide open, just drooling with mad cotton between your
I don't think we should be drinking fluoride. Though.
We have to. We need a little bit in it. It's not a lot. It's just it's like that's what you brush your teeth with.
But I'm saying, like, if I go to a lake and I go and I boil the water,
well,
and, like,
don't swim in a lake.
It's good and I can drink it. It doesn't have
but for
fluoride
a little
in
bit.
It.
For a little bit, you could drink it on your camping trip, but when you come back, you can get that fluoride.
So I get it. So a lot of people, there's a large understanding that fluoride is not good to be in drinking water, right? Yeah. And I get that because it's not water, it's fluoride. It's a chemical,
literally,
right?
Like,
yeah. Here's the thing though. Mostly everything you eat and consume is a chemical. Water is a chemical, right? Like fluoride, it sounds scary, and I get it. I'm not trying to knock anybody's ideas. Like, if you don't want fluoride in your water, that's fine. I don't care. I'm not part of the dental industry.
It ain't my teeth.
I don't care.
Did I do that?
You know what I mean?
Sorry.
But I will say this, just from a scientific standpoint, there's no threat to you of harm for fluoride. Or if you have an issue with that,
so either way, so it doesn't really matter either way in general.
It doesn't.
Unless you're drinking heavily amounts of fluoride.
I mean, think about this: arsenic in every fruit you eat, right? Like there's chemicals in every. Arsenic is a very dangerous poison. Not in Sunkist, right? It's in the seeds. So like everything you eat, there's something in it. If it's at a certain amount, it will kill you or harm you.
Miss Tony said, "Don't drink lake water and don't swim in Houghton's Pond."
Yes, that's what we need to worry about.
I do not subscribe to that.
Yeah.
Houghton Pond is fine.
Okay.
And Houghton Pond is fine, actually.
It's wonderful.
Are you gonna defend it?
I used to go there growing up, and
we all went there growing up.
I would still go there now.
Exactly.
And that's why all of our right eyes are a little smaller than our left eyes.
But that is why we are smart.
All of us.
That's why none of us died from COVID.
You right. Exactly. You right.
See?
You right. Between fluoride in our tap water,
exactly.
and dirty pond water.
I'm going to keep on using the fluoride water, but I still don't trust the government.
But I don't even drink tap water, so I don't even know what I'm talking about. Like, I used to.
I'm with Janet. Yeah. Meh, water is water, no taste. I hate water, but I drink it.
Really?
Water has taste.
I'm not a fan of water. I drink water, but I am not a fan of it. If I had a choice to drink water versus drinking something else, I would choose something else. As an adult,
but you drink it on occasion.
Yeah, no, I drink it every day.
Because I know people that never drank water.
Yeah, then that's a little crazy.
I literally don't drink water.
That's insane.
Which is nuts to me. Like, you're always thirsty.
That's really crazy.
Right? But water definitely does have a taste. Like, you can tell the difference between, like, Poland
that's
Springs.
Side-eye.
Yeah.
Side-eye.
You should get the essentials.
Not water is not water. I drink water too, but I'm not a fan either. See, like, you have to drink it. Like, as an adult person, as a human, you have to drink it. But I don't like when people shun people because they say they don't like water. I don't have to like it. It's stupid. It just fill your belly up.
There's no flavor. It don't make no sense.
It don't make no sense. You ever drank mad water and then you just walking around your belly's like, it's a mad water in there. What is it doing?
So you either don't drink water or you drink too much water. Yes. You need to find a middle ground.
Yeah, I think a middle ground, and you're going to find that you like water.
For real. Like,
I went to the gym the other day, and one of the instructors was like, I can't even start my day without getting up immediately and drinking 2 bottles of water. And I'm like, if I have a sip of water in the morning, I'm going to vomit because my stomach just be flipping around.
Yo, I just buy like the 24 packs of Poland Springs, and I just keep them in eyesight.
Yep.
Like, I'll drink, like, I'm horrible. Like, I'll drink half a bottle of water, and I'll just, like, not drink the rest.
I do that too.
I'll give the rest to my dog, and then I'll drink another half a bottle. So that equals 1 bottle. I just did it.
Yeah. In succession. You sipped it.
I sipped it. And me and my dog shared it too, so I was being friendly.
I've actually never been to Houghton's. Evan Diesel, what the hell are you talking about?
Where's she from?
Oh, wow.
She's from here. She's never been to.
Yo,
what do you
field
mean?
trip. You might be too old. It's like chicken pox. if you get chicken pox at a certain age, you're gonna die. If you go to that pond, if you over 30, don't do it. Your immune system ain't built for that.
Oh wow! Lawanda's 12-year-old son only drinks water.
Nice.
Wow. See, nice. So many people I love the people who love water. Because I wish I could be like that.
I had cousins like that as a kid, and I think that's great. Like I would want to raise my kid that way. Mm-hmm. But I remember as a kid going to my cousin's house that only drank water.
Yeah.
I hated going to their house. They only drank water and they went to bed before the sun went down.
At like
I was like, this
6 o'clock.
joint is crazy.
I was that kid.
You was that kid?
Only drinking water?
Yo, if you're raised like that and you don't become an astronaut, yo, I don't want, don't be a bum, because your parents put a lot of time and effort into raising you right.
Yeah, it
I
was
could tell by the way you
one cup
talk.
of juice.
Yeah,
one cup of juice before dinner, and that's all I could have.
Really?
And then one snack.
Were
and I could take
y'all
one
milk
snack
drinkers
to school.
too? Did y'all have like a cup of milk? Did y'all do that?
Sometimes,
Yeah.
if we wanted to, but it would be chocolate milk because I was very picky.
You was very picky?
Yeah.
Alright.
See, that's crazy. That's crazy. That's all. Just what? Like, what is fun is
Yo,
the
bring that
children
to CK.
having?
Bring that to
yeah,
CK.
be like, I'd be like trying to get CK to drink water, and I'd be like, I don't want water. I want a Coke. You want a what?
This dude said a Coke. Yo.
Him and Noah.
It was like-
Noah always wants some damn Coca-Cola or some soda.
Yo, that's our
But
family,
Noah
bro.
at least will drink water.
Yeah.
CK would be like, no, stupid. And then last but not least, there's a low man sentence for defrauding clients, including elderly people, a couple of millions. I just don't understand why the elderly people are so willing to give away their money.
Because what they gonna do with it?
They lose
Give
them
it
if
to
you bring
somebody
some.
else.
Oh,
Me,
yeah.
not the scammer. Yeah. Like old people that have a lot of money and they're looking to help out or looking to give to their fake nephew from Louisville. Yeah. I just feel like they should just be more inclined to donate, or maybe you got to call them to see if they're interested in donating.
Yo, if you have elderly people in your life, yo, go check on them. Because one, it's the right thing to do, and two, they're probably gonna give you money.
Oh,
So, and that's not the. All right, that sounds messed up, right? So, our parents are getting up there in age, right? And I've been busy for the past like 2 decades of my life. Like I'm never around. Like I'm never around. But my mom, she's getting older. She's moving back into her house and stuff like that. So I've been trying to help her, right? So I'll just go and just help her, just whatever. I don't really ask anything for my mom, and she'll just give me like stuff, like here, take this $1,000 speaker that I can't use or whatever, right? For the help.
Yeah.
So what I'm trying to say is this, like, these people clearly have the ability to, they have money, they have savings, and they're bored and they're lonely, right?
Yeah,
Yep.
exactly.
Again, don't do it for that. But there's a whole resource of elderly people. Even if they don't have money, they have wisdom. Like talking to an older person, just spending the time with them is like an awesome experience sometimes, right? Like my wife's grandmother just called me out the blue one day, like just to talk. You know,
Sonny.
yeah, you know, like we should, and that's what it is, and that's why all these old people are getting scammed, yo, because we kind of forgot about them, bro. They just chilling in the house with nothing to do, and these dudes from Nigeria hitting them up, taking all their money.
Yo.
So, yo.
Yo.
Do the right thing, people.
See, a lot of people are giving us help on water. Conscious parents give their children kombucha.
Kombucha. Is it kombucha?
Kombucha. Kombucha.
Yeah.
Kombucha.
I love kombucha.
Kombucha.
Yeah.
That sounds like an old school hip hop song.
Don't give your kids too much of that, though.
Ain't that good for your
It's
womb?
good for you, but it's like
Ain't it good for your vagina?
I mean, I wouldn't know. But
Might
I'm
have to go research.
yeah. But water is good for your pH, not the other stuff. I've been told. I don't know.
Since it was Negro, she been giving you yeah. So okay, last but not least, I think we're about done with the around the way news. I was looking for some things that we had seen before. Wu sends rent control plan to city council, so that seems like that is going pretty interestingly.
Are there details on that?
Efforts to re-implement rent control in Boston took an official step forward Monday when Mayor Wu sent her proposed home rule petition to the Boston City Council. I feel like there was some kind of controversy around that too. I won't get too much into it because, in the sake of time. So Wu won't budge on electing a school committee. Before they were appointed. Now they want to be able to elect the school committees, which I think is a good idea. It's our children, our school, our community.
But y'all got to vote, though.
That's it.
Because what happens is that now the people they're appointing are people appointed from people that you probably voted for.
Yep.
Now, if you're going to have school board members on the ballot, that adds a little bit more complexity. And now it's your choice. It's your obligation to put good people on that board.
Absolutely. You can't blame it on nobody else.
And anybody, any Tom, Dick, and Harry could put their name on a ballot. Remember that.
I'm going to say just vote for a representative that's going to do something for the kids and the supplies that the kids have in school.
Boom.
We really don't got much. We really don't. They spend it on the wages. I've had conversations with the teachers. They tell me how much they get paid. And the fact that we have 5 basketballs is crazy. Each basketball costs like $20.
You got 5 basketballs in your whole school?
Well, when I go to gym, there's only like 5 or 6 basketballs, like 2 volleyballs, and then a weight room. And again,
that's a damn shame.
Not bad, but we have a lot of money. Y'all paying these teachers a lot for us to be having a little bit. What are we doing here?
No, bro. And then you hear about like my wife went to Metco. She went to
big shout out to Metco schools.
She went to Lexington.
Big shout out to Belmont.
And she tells me what they at Belmont, and she tells what y'all had. I went to y'all cafeteria. Y'all had like Taco Bell and stuff.
We didn't have no Taco Bell. We had the same square pizza that everybody else have.
I remember seeing something in y'all calf that was crazy. But anyways, like clearly these schools have the money to do it. Exactly. It sucks that in our communities.
That's what I'm saying. There's not a lot of representation.
So we should listen to the kids too, bro. Listen to y'all kids. They know what they want, bro. They in school every day. Unless they skipping like I did. I didn't skip.
Ex-Chelsea school committee member pleads guilty to raping a 12-year-old.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
What the frick?
Yeah. That's literally like your first. A former member of the Chelsea school committee pleaded guilty to raping a 12-year-old Thursday in Suffolk County Superior Court. Prosecutor said 57-year-old Henry Wilson. 57.
Okay.
Henry Wilson picked the victim up in his car, assaulted him, and recorded some of the assault on a cell phone. In a news release, the Suffolk County District Attorney's Office said that on June 28, 2021, the victim was walking near Broadway in Chelsea when Wilson offered him a ride in his car. Wilson drove the victim to a parking lot where he assaulted him and recorded some of the assault. Days later, the victim's family was made aware of the assault and contacted Chelsea police. Through their investigation, police identified Wilson as a suspect and later interviewed and arrested him. This case involves multiple levels of abuse, including Mr. Wilson abusing his status as an adult and his status as a person of authority. But more than anything else, it involves the abuse of an innocent child. And Mr. Wilson now knows the consequences of each conduct. The courage of the victim and the victim's family was crucial in moving this case forward. Wilson pleaded guilty to rape and abuse of a child enticement, and posing a child in sexual conduct. Judge Michael sentenced Wilson to 5 years in prison on the rape charge and 5 years of probation on the other 2 charges. I'm not sure why he didn't get a full million years. Wilson is also prohibited from having unsupervised contact with children under 18 or having a job where he would work with children under 12. How old was this child? 12 years old.
You should not be working with children at all after this. Like,
he got 5 years?
Literally. Like, I'm livid.
I'm not.
I don't know what to say. I don't know.
All right. Let me put my law hat on
Let me put my not pissed off face on, because
I don't need to put nothing on.
What is a 5 years of what?
So I guess it depends on the acts, because I know when it comes to like rapes and stuff like that, like according to law, it's the specific acts. Right?
I don't want to hear nothing.
Yeah, I know.
Like, there's people, like you said, the weed charge. There's people getting locked up for 20 years.
Off
you done touched a child and recorded it.
You done raped a child and recorded it. That's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, that would technically be child porn, right? And I feel like you should get
at
least 20 years for that, right?
That's a whole other charge.
Because that's you enticed the child. Yeah. He's 12. Yeah. I can see if they were like he was 17. Is that him on the screen? That is the rapist, yes. Dr. D. Wilson pleaded guilty to raping a 12-year-old. I can see if maybe it was like an 8 to 17 and a half-year-old. Maybe they was involved in some, that's still gross. But a 12-year-old that you taped while you assaulted him is absolutely insane to me. And you get 5 years?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I'm hoping more charges are incoming, because sometimes that happens as well. But that I don't even want to touch that.
That's
crazy. He looks like He looks.
Yeah, that's terrible. That's craziness.
Yeah, that's bad.
We'll follow that story and see where that ends up. But we've got to be careful with our kids these days. Make sure that the children don't get in no car with no strangers that they don't
kids,
know.
That's basic, yo. Teach your kids that, yo.
Listen. Even if it's someone that they do know, watching the parent test on Hulu, they did a test like that where they had to see. They set the kids up. They dropped them off somewhere and was like, "I'm gonna be back to get you." But at the end of the event or wherever they were, they had a family friend go and pick them up to see how they would react to it. Mm-hmm. And the point of the test was to see if the kids would at least call their parents to find out if that was true, or wait for their parents or not go with them. But a majority of the kids literally, just got into the car of the person who came to get them.
And it makes sense they would, too. If it's somebody you know, with your parents.
Yeah.
But at the same time, those are the ones.
Those be the ones. Those be the ones.
For the most part. It don't be it's rarely, I would assume it's rarely some random dude picking up a kid. Because I feel like you'd have to... These predators, they look for situations that are easy.
They do.
So they look for people close to them and all the other stuff. So
one of them was was a stranger, I believe, or somebody. He was like, "Oh, do you want to see my dog?" or something like that. Yeah. The kid was like, "Yeah, we want to see the dog."
That kid need to be beat.
That would have been CK.
I'm spanking that kid. You getting spanked.
CK. I'll see the dog. Let me go. You want me to get in the van? You want to drive me down the street? Okay.
You got candy? Boy. No, it's okay. I don't need candy. Let me just go in the car.
Let me just go in the car.
I just want to see the dog.
After that stuff, I had to be like, CK, what'd you do? What'd you do? Don't you go in the car with nobody.
Yo.
I will end it all. I will end you and everybody else.
Yeah, why'd I decide to have a kid?
It is crazy. Yeah. It is crazy. Yo. We're going to go to a quick commercial break. We'll be right back in a few moments. Keep it locked right here. Spark FM Online, #1 for urban and Caribbean music.
Yo.
The only thing that does matter is great music, and you will find it here.
The all-new Spark FM.
On Tuesday, February 28th, please join Saucy Media and Spark FM at La Fabrica in Cambridge, Mass. for a night of cannabis industry, networking, and an authentic Caribbean experience.
Finally, the herbs come around.
Presented by Green Gold Group, Western Front, and the new cannabis product line by the legendary David Ortiz.
This is a two-part event. From 7 to 11, Saucy Media is hosting the Saucy Connects Brands and Retail Business-to-Business Networking Mixer. For only $60, come early to network with leaders and influencers in the cannabis industry. Enjoy authentic Caribbean cuisine, a steel pan performance, and carnival presentation, all hosted by Jennifer G.
All soca lovers.
Later that night, from 11 to 1 a.m., Spark FM takes over the venue with live music featuring Roots Alley Collective, followed by DJ Rockstone Triz to turn up the vibes. This part of the night is open to the public, 21 plus, and only $20 to enter.
This event has also partnered with the Worcester Caribbean American Carnival Association and Boston Society of Caribbean Culture and Heritage to bring you a very authentic experience you don't want to miss. Meet us on the 28th at La Fabrica in Cambridge.
Have questions about the COVID vaccine or booster? Need help making the right decision for you? The COVID vaccine and booster have been proven as safe and effective options and are now readily available to adults and children alike. Harbor Health wants to help make sure our community is healthy and safe. Visit hhsi.us/COVID vaccine for help with vaccine information. Let's make our community a COVID safe harbor for everyone. Get your booster now. Brought to you by your friends at Harbor Health.
Hi, Rosa. How are the kids? Good. But I have a question about the COVID vaccine. Kids who had COVID have immunity, right? True. They have some immunity, but also true, vaccines strengthen that immunity. But how do you know if it's safe? The vaccine was developed so fast. True. It was fast. Also true, scientists had a head start. They've been studying similar viruses for years. Have questions about kids and the COVID vaccine? Know the facts. Find the truth. Visit boston.gov/COVID facts.
Finally Home is a must-read step-by-step guide that will equip any first-time home buyer with the knowledge they need to confidently make informed decisions. This book provides answers in simple and clear terms to most, if not all, of the questions you may have about credit, home ownership, and generational wealth. Finally Home equips the reader with the confidence to be engaged with the home buying process without feeling vulnerable or exploited. Tailor-made real estate easy is not just a catchy hashtag. It is real estate agent and radio personality Taylor Andre's goal. A goal to simplify one of the most challenging processes you will go through as an adult. A goal to educate you properly on credit and teach you the strategies to finding the home of your dream. It is not just a good book or an easy read. It is the secret to a seamless home buying experience.
How healthy is your heart? Believe it or not, half of the country has at least one risk factor for cardiovascular disease. Hi, I'm Senator Liz Miranda from Massachusetts. February is American Heart Month, a perfect time to focus on our overall health and well-being. It is important to know that high blood pressure, high cholesterol, and smoking increase the risk of heart disease. But did you know women, rural Americans, and racial and ethnic groups are also disproportionately impacted? While not all of these factors are controllable, we can take preventable steps to stay healthy. Regular exercise, eating a balanced diet, and not smoking are a good place to start. Make an appointment with your healthcare provider today to assess your risk. If you have heart disease, monitor your blood pressure and keep up with your healthcare visits. For more, visit womeningovernment.org.
Spark FM.
Medication. Your medication makes me high.
Igniting the airwaves. Spark FM.
She like the way that I move. She like the way that I rock. She like the way that I woo. And she let it clap for it.
Join us on Facebook and Instagram at sparkfmonline.com. Turn us up.
She like man, we ride. Big ride, big ride, big.
Spark FM.
Finally Home is a must-read, step-by-step guide that will equip any first-time home buyer with the knowledge they need.
Massive It's the Sunday Food with Father John and Trinitech. Every Sunday, 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Playing you vintage classics, calypso, ska beats, reggae, roots, R&B, souls, dub, and more. It's the Sunday Food. Every Sunday, 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Spark FM Online.
We are back. We are back. We are back. Super Woke Javi, Jules, your girl Miss Hot Sizzling Sauce, Rockstone Triz, and Miss Tony B. Nolan have both gotten hit by the viral bug, so they will not be joining us. But we missed them.
I heard Tristan got monkeypox in Trinidad.
He should have, goddammit.
That's what I heard.
I was looking at his videos and things like that, and I was like, bro,
what's going on?
That looked so fun. Trinidad looks like such a vibe.
Everybody in Trinidad right now, I don't care, because I got a lot of people I'm related to. We ain't talking for like a month.
Absolutely.
Because you had fun. I don't even care.
Big fun.
I don't care about, like, I grew up with soca music. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I love it, like, instinctually. Mm-hmm. But what I'm really upset at is that ain't none of y'all want to bring me some KFC from Trinidad? With a little bit of garlic sauce and some ketchup? Can you get none of that?
Can't get nothing?
Can't get nothing? I got an air fryer, bro. I can throw that joint in there. We good.
Oh, air fried Trinidad KFC.
Oh, that joint would be crazy,
right?
I don't want to talk about it.
Let's see. We got, all right, it's time for us to get, oh, damn, I was supposed to give you this. It's time for us to get into our national news. A 76-year-old woman is murdered in a murder-suicide pact at a Daytona Beach, is hospitalized and indicted by a grand jury. How did that fail?
What is a murder-suicide pact? Because a suicide pact is people agreeing to commit suicide together. So a murder,
maybe, like,
suicide
they
pact?
agreed, like, you kill me because I don't want to kill myself. I'm too scared. But then you kill yourself right after.
That's complicated. I get that.
That freaking sucks if the person didn't commit the other part, and then you end up getting indicted.
Now you go to jail. We were supposed to do this together.
She failed.
So charges have been reduced for a 76-year-old woman accused of killing her terminally ill husband.
No, you know what it is.
Yeah.
They did that's
sad. The Notebook.
Yeah, they want to go out together.
Okay. Yeah.
I believe in that.
That's
I think you should be able to end your life with dignity.
Yeah.
That's cute.
Yeah.
So do you believe in assisted suicide?
Yeah, hell yeah.
See, me too.
Yeah.
I do. I fully do. And people be like, nah. But I fully believe in it.
I'm not trying to be out here 120 years old.
Bro,
All my friends are dead.
Can you say that again?
I'm not little Uzi Vert.
Ellen Gilland was arrested in January at the end of a 4-hour standoff with police after shooting her 77-year-old husband, Jerry, in the head.
Damn.
Damn.
She took some frustration on
She
that
was
one.
like, we gonna get this done.
Yeah.
According to Daytona Beach Police Chief Jakari Young, the couple had a plan in the works for weeks before the shooting. Young explained they decided if Jerry Gilead's illness took a turn for the worse, he'd wanted her to end this. Apparently, the goal was for him to do it, but he didn't have the strength, so she had to carry it out. So they turned to a murder-suicide in which she would kill herself. But she decided she couldn't go through with it. Ellen Gilead was initially charged with premeditated first-degree murder with no counts of aggressive assault with a deadly weapon with the intent to kill.
Yo, let that old lady walk, yo. Look at her, man. Like
Court records show that a grand jury indictment issued Wednesday against Ellen had reduced the charges to assisting self-murder, manslaughter, aggravated assault, and aggravated assault on a law enforcement officer. If found guilty, she would be sentenced to up to 30 years in prison.
Nah, bro.
Oh no! No, this is
I feel
terrible.
like there's so many other worse like murders going on around the world that if somebody says like I want to die and I'm giving you permission to kill me, the government shouldn't get involved in that.
I feel like there should be like a little signed contract that is witnessed maybe before someone. I mean, maybe the gun was a little aggressive.
Certain places do that.
Yeah.
And then like I know in California, I believe some guy created like a suicide machine. So the machine does it for you. So technically it's not a murder. Right? Things like that. It's like a little pod. So there's ways to do it, but it's complicated because then like if I kill somebody, I can just be like, well, they wanted me to kill them. Right?
That's where like
you know,
the written contract comes in. Like
I feel like they must have had something in place. I think it sucks because they had it figured out. And there was like, so how long of a standoff was it?
With the police?
With the police.
Yo, she wasn't going out.
She was not.
I like her. I like that old lady. Bring her to me. She could do community service for me. Yo, I like her. I like that old lady.
How long was the standoff? It was like 8 hours or something like that for a standoff because she didn't want to. She don't want to survive.
She just killed her husband, bro. Like
exactly.
She's not. You know what I mean?
Let me show y'all the little lady because she's so sweet looking. You know, I don't trust anybody, but still,
that's
like
crazy.
you know, that's terrible.
Look at her.
Look at her. She just wanted to die with her husband. They don't want to be here no more. That's terrible.
That's crazy.
But yeah, so poor her. Poor Miss Jillian or whatever her name is. 2 million air fryers recalled due to fire burn. You was just talking about your air fryer. So, oh no, everybody who has a air fryer, you guys need to tune into this and listen to what is going on here because this is crazy. So approximately 2 million air fryers have been recalled due to concerns that a wire connection can overheat, posing fire and burn hazards. According to the recall notice from the U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission, there have been more than 200 reports. There have been more than 200 reports of Kasori air fryers catching fire. Anybody has a Kasori? Go and check your things right now. See if you have a Kasori air fryer. They have been accused of catching fire, burning, melting, overheating, and smoking. These include 10 reports of minor superficial burn injuries and 23 reports of minor property damage. The recall notice includes Kasori air fryers with the following models. There's a lot of models there, all starting with C, it looks like. Model numbers are printed on the bottom label of each unit and on the accompanying user manual. The recalled units are the 3.7 quart and 5.8 quart sizes, sold in black, gray, white, blue, and red colors. Again, people, if you guys have a Kasori air fryer,
wait, what? What's going on? I got a
it-
Ninja, but I'm just saying.
the Kasoris, about 2,000 of them have been recalled.
Ooh.
No, 2 million air fryers have been recalled due to concerns that a wire connection can overheat, posing fire and burn hazards. Oh, Janice says not her brand. Everybody go to the kitchen right now and go check it out. Oh, my.
And if it ain't a Ninja air fryer, throw it out and get a Ninja air fryer.
Are they great? Which one do you have? You have the little bullet one or you have the little
I got
hot
two of
oven
them.
one?
I got the little one, and then I
Uh-huh.
got the air fryer / pressure cooker.
What the hell is that?
It's a pressure cooker that's also an air fryer.
How that work? You can make oxtail great in that, huh?
I do the whole oxtail in that joint.
Really?
You pressure cook the oxtail.
Yeah.
Right? Whatever. I mean, well, you could cook in it first.
Yep,
'cause,
yep,
you know,
yep.
like at the hot plate mode, so you get your little onions and all that, your little whatever. And the browning and all that, right? And then you put the oxtail in there, you fry that up a little bit, throw the pressure cooker joint on.
Yeah.
Right? After it's done pressure cooking for like 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Then you hit it with a little air fry.
Oh.
Give it a little braise.
Okay.
Feel me?
Okay, braise it
Feel
up.
me?
Okay.
And then that's like the best oxtail you ever have outside of an old Jamaican lady with fat arms.
You're done. You're done.
Yo, my great grandfather's Jamaican. Don't come at me.
So Rochelle says she got that one too.
Yeah, she knows.
And she got that. Tony says she got that Ninja. I know she didn't say it like that. She said I got that Ninja. You know how she
Yeah, I know she say that. Yeah.
So yes, if you guys have a Kasori, make sure you guys go check it out. Take it back to the store, get you a Ninja. We are not endorsed by Ninja, so if you get it, that's on your own free will, not
Yeah.
because we influence you to do it.
But if Ninja want to give us money.
Yes. So this is a very interesting story too. A Florida woman argues her unborn baby should be released from jail.
I saw that.
That's dope.
I saw that.
I love it.
I
don't
see what
agree
they
with
did
it.
there.
No, but oh man, okay, go ahead.
I
gotta
see
hear
what
it.
she
Yeah,
did
yeah,
there.
yeah.
So y'all check this. So now in prison awaiting trial. So Natalie Harrell was 6 weeks pregnant when she fatally shot another woman.
Yep.
Now in prison awaiting trial, she claims her unborn baby is being unlawfully detained. In an emergency petition in the Florida court, Ms. Harrell's lawyer argued that jail staff have endangered her child through a lack of reasonable and necessary prenatal care. The argument draws on the concept that a fetus is a person with rights, especially in Florida. The idea that an unborn child is in prison with constitutional protections has gained traction since the U.S. Supreme Court overturned the nationwide right to an abortion, Roe versus Wade, last summer. Ms. Harrell's unborn child is a person as defined under the Florida Constitution and United States Constitution. The filing was made on behalf of the unborn child and calls for Harrell to be discharged from jail until the child is born so she can receive proper care. An unborn child has the rights independent of its mother, even though it's still in the womb, Mr. Norris told the Washington Post. The unborn child has been deprived of due process of law in this incarceration. Miss Harrell has been jailed without bond in Miami-Dade County since last July after she shot Gladys Yvette Bosola, where she was traveling with in an Uber. That was her friend. The 24-year-old has pleaded not guilty to second-degree murder. According to Mr. Norris' petition, Mr. Harrell acted in self-defense in fear of her life and the life of her unborn child. And I will stop there so that we may discuss.
Yeah. All right,
Laugh
you're
out
shaking
loud.
over there. Yeah.
I'm laughing out loud.
Yeah.
Number one, they didn't even bring up that the other girl had 3 children. She had 3 children of
Already.
her own.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh.
And so the fact that you feel like you could take a mother away from her 3 children, but because you're a mother, you decide that you want to get out of jail because of your child. Number one. That's number 2. All about this feminism movement talking about no, after a certain period, it's not really a child. You have to wait and no. That's not really a child then. If we're really looking at all the laws that y'all are trying to fight for as women, it's not really a child in your eyes. So why do you feel the need that you took a life of another person, you get to get out of jail?
See, you took she's
on the more so moral aspect of it.
Yeah.
But when you're talking about the law, she technically has every right to do this. Because under Florida law, you take away the rights of abortion and you're giving fetus independence, technically you are imprisoning the fetus.
A full human being.
Yeah, with rights and constitutional rights that didn't do anything. Even though it is still in the mother, you guys are claiming that this child has independent rights.
Yeah.
So you technically, that's a dope loophole if you think about it.
This is why I love the law.
That's how the law works.
People be like, why don't you watch football? Because I'm paying attention to stuff like this. This joint is interesting as hell, right? So, dang. I'm honestly, I'm on the side of pettiness here. Like,
Me too.
Anytime somebody's petty,
yeah,
I'm on their side, right? And I feel like, and I feel what you're saying. Like, she's probably not a good person.
She's
right?
not, because
She's
I
not.
had to read the story about her. She got mad at her friend that she was traveling with in the car and shot her point blank
that's
in the
crazy.
head. I think in the Uber.
Yeah. So I wish it was a better person.
Me too.
As the figurehead for this. But now that we're here, right? Like, Florida's laws are kind of, I mean, depending on where you stand.
Crazy.
Depending on where you stand. And moments like this is what helps change laws for the better, right? Because you're able to highlight the unintended consequences of your stupidity, right? The fact that you gave, a couple of cells in a woman's body at that time. I mean, no, that's how I see it.
That's
right?
how it's fine.
That's how I see it. I'm sorry.
Respect your opinion,
right? Right? And you gave them the right of all, like, as a person. Right? What are the consequences of that? You got a bunch of women incarcerated right now with a bunch of people in their bellies.
Yep.
Again, my wife is pregnant, and learning from this experience, I don't think any pregnant woman should be in jail, should be incarcerated. I don't care what you did. Even if you got to be in a hospital, like 24/7, like, yo, that's
special maternity
crazy.
Ward or something like that.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're uncomfortable in the best of situations. So, I don't know. I think this whole situation is dope. I hope it changes something in Florida, which it probably won't, because DeSantis is trying to run for president, so he's gonna probably wild out because of this. But this is a crazy situation.
But I want to hear what Republicans and what the Supreme Court would have to say about this, even if they don't let it. I want to know how they're gonna backtrack on what they've already set into motion. Yeah. Again, I do wish that it was a different person that this was happening, but I'm pretty sure that there are people that, I was watching I Am a Murderer on Netflix. And there was a woman in there who ended up, I guess it was self-defense. She ended up killing she had a restraining order out against her boyfriend. He violated the restraining order. She ended up killing him because he violated the restraining order. She ends up 10 years in jail. I mean, she did some other stupid shit while she had the body and stuff like that. Yeah. But she's in jail for 10 years now because she defended herself against a restraining order and somebody coming to kill her. So in that situation, if she was petitioning now to release her baby from jail because she didn't do anything, I would say
it'd be a stronger argument.
Yeah.
But this lady's out here a murderer, like.
But even with this case, she's even saying, "Let me out while the baby is in me, and then put me back in if I need to once the baby is out of me because I'm the one." Yeah. So they're playing this very well.
I can't wait to see how this plays out. To
Me
be
too.
honest, I mean, the whole prison system needs to be changed, anyways. Huh? Oh,
respectfully, she already messed up the child's life, no matter how you put it.
100%.
From her decisions,
you might as well just thug it out while you're in jail. Like, you might as well. Like, the sooner you start getting your time done, the sooner you could get out to your child. But again, you're trying to extend your period. Extend what? You did what you did.
So this one also has another layer because the father is fighting against this too. The father's fighting this too. He don't necessarily care about the chick. He's like, baby. I want my baby. So in that case, the father has rights too for this independent person that he's supposed to be parenting. Yeah. So if he is standing behind it too, then technically y'all gotta let her out.
Yo, let her out, bro. Yo,
technically, y'all gotta let her out.
I'm with free all the boys.
Free all the
boys, bro. You feel me? Like, the whole prison system is this. And I get what you're saying. Like, people, there's a lot of people that have done things. Yeah. We talked about it. Yes. Right? Like, but at the same time, bro, things need to change. The fact that you have a bunch of pregnant women in jail right now is kind of crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think, but I don't think that we should free them all. I think that maybe we should reevaluate them being in there, or maybe after a certain time when the baby is now heart beating and things like that. Because I can see a lot of women going in there and getting pregnant.
Like, oh no, I just committed a murder. I need a baby.
Yeah.
What if they just put them on house arrest until they,
That too, with a security guard outside of it.
We went to a prison in Honduras once, right?
Remember that?
It was co-ed.
Yeah.
And people were definitely getting pregnant in there, and they didn't care. They just kept them in. They
They
went there pregnant, raising kids, kindergarten, all types of stuff.
Teaching them on the abacus and all kind of foolishness. That's crazy. Anyways, people, we got to go to a commercial break. When we come back, we'll be talking to our special guests. So make sure you guys keep it locked. The phone lines will be open, 617-272-3387. We are going to talk about all kinds of stuff, and we're going to have a fun time because it is F-Word Friday. We are freeing up, and we are just going to do as the wind blows. We'll be right back in a few moments, so keep it locked. Spark FM Online.
The only thing that does matter is great music, and you will find it here.
The all-new Spark FM.
On Tuesday, February 28th, please join Saucy Media and Spark FM at La Fabrica in Cambridge, Mass. for a night of cannabis industry, networking, and an authentic Caribbean experience.
Finally, the herbs come around.
Presented by Green Gold Group, Western Front, and the new cannabis product line by the legendary David Ortiz.
This is a two-part event. From 7 to 11, Saucy Media is hosting the Saucy Connects Brands and Retail Business-to-Business Networking Mixer. For only $60, come early to network with leaders and influencers in the cannabis industry. Enjoy authentic Caribbean cuisine, a steel pan performance, and carnival presentation, all hosted by Jennifer G.
All soca lovers,
Later that night, from 11 to 1 a.m., Spark FM takes over the venue with live music featuring Roots Alley Collective, followed by DJ Rockstone Trizz to turn up the vibes. This part of the night is open to the public, 21 plus, and only $20 to enter.
This event has also partnered with the Worcester Caribbean American Carnival Association and the Boston Society of Caribbean Culture and Heritage to bring you a very authentic experience you don't want to miss. Meet us on the 28th at La Fabrica in Cambridge.
Have questions about the COVID vaccine or booster? Need help making the right decision for you? The COVID vaccine and booster have been proven as safe and effective options and are now readily available to adults and children alike. Harbor Health wants to help make sure our community is healthy and safe. Visit hhsi.us/COVID vaccine for help with vaccine information. Let's make our community a COVID-safe harbor for everyone. Get your booster now. Brought to you by your friends at Harbor Health.
Hi, Rosa. How are the kids? Good. But I have a question about the COVID vaccine. Kids who had COVID have immunity, right? True. They have some immunity, but also true, vaccines strengthen that immunity. But how do you know if it's safe? The vaccine was developed so fast. True. It was fast. Also true, scientists had a head start. They've been studying similar viruses for years. Have questions about kids and the COVID vaccine? Know the facts. Find the truth. Visit boston.gov/COVID facts.
Finally Home is a must-read step-by-step guide that will equip any first-time homebuyer with the knowledge they need to confidently make informed decisions. This book provides answers in simple and clear terms to most, if not all, of the questions you may have about credit, home ownership, and generational wealth. Finally Home equips the reader with the confidence to be engaged with the home buying process without feeling vulnerable or exploited. Tailor-Made Real Estate Easy is not just a catchy hashtag. It is real estate agent and radio personality Taylor Andre's goal. A goal to simplify one of the most challenging processes you will go through as an adult. A goal to educate you properly on credit and teach you the strategies to finding the home of your dream. It is not just a good book or an easy read. It is the secret to a seamless home buying experience.
Massive, it's the Sunday Food with Father John and Trini Tech. Every Sunday, 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Playing you vintage classics, calypso, ska beats, reggae, roots, R&B, souls, dub, and more. It's the Sunday Food. Every Sunday, 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Spark FM Online.
Finally Home is a must-read step-by-step guide that will equip any first-time homebuyer with the knowledge they need to confidently make informed decisions. This book provides answers in simple and clear terms to most, if not all, of the questions you may have about credit, home ownership, and generational wealth. Finally Home equips the reader with the confidence to be engaged with the home buying process without feeling vulnerable or exploited. Tailor-made Real Estate Easy is not just a catchy hashtag. It is real estate agent and radio personality Taylor Andre's goal. A goal to simplify one of the most challenging processes you will go through as an adult. A goal to educate you properly on credit and teach you the strategies to finding the home of your dream. It is not just a good book or an easy read. It is the secret to a seamless home buying experience.
How healthy is your heart? Believe it or not, half of the country has at least one risk factor for cardiovascular disease. Hi, I'm Senator Liz Miranda from Massachusetts. February is American Heart Month, a perfect time to focus on our overall health and well-being. It is important to know that high blood pressure, high cholesterol, and smoking increase the risk of heart disease. But did you know women, rural Americans, and racial and ethnic groups are also disproportionately impacted? While not all of these factors are controllable, we can take preventable steps to stay healthy. Regular exercise, eating a balanced diet, and not smoking are a good place to start. Make an appointment with your healthcare provider today to assess your risk. If you have heart disease, monitor your blood pressure and keep up with your healthcare visits. For more, visit womeningovernment.org.
Spark FM.
Your medication makes me high.
Igniting the airwaves. Spark FM.
She like the way that I move. She like the way that I rock. She like the way that I woo. And she let it clap for it.
Join us on Facebook and Instagram at sparkfmonline.com. Turn us up.
She like man, we ride. Big ride, big ride, big.
Spark FM.
Check, check, check. We are back. We are back. We are back. We are back with our special guest today. We've done a little kind of moving around in the studio a little bit. Jan, I'm going to ask you to just move your computer right in front of you. Yep. Turn it to you directly because I have Jamaica already. So today we are... When I say that we have special people in here for you guys, that means we got special people in here for you guys. So today we welcome back Miss Yana Bean. You guys seen her before, our favorite trap queen here from Boston. We heard all about her story some months ago or late last year. And she has a lot going on. She has a series called Beyond the Bars. And tell us a little bit about Beyond the Bars.
So Beyond the Bars is a workshop that is for anyone who's been impacted by incarceration.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't mean you had to be in prison or anything like that, but as we know, our whole community is impacted by incarceration.
Yeah.
Right? We've all had friends, we all have family members or people that we know that have gone to prison or that face, criminal injustice, right? So with the workshop, I want it to be a space where people feel comfortable being a convicted felon or not, or maybe, there's a lot of kids that have parents that are in prison.
Yeah.
I mean, and myself and Jamaica,
Yeah.
we both had sons. We both were in prison while we had, children as well. So everyone, it's a whole line of connection through all of us, through our whole community. So when I put it together, it was just not to, to single anyone out, but it's to put us together, have us come together, share resources, talk about our own experiences and journeys. And, I think that's how a community grows, because people don't talk about it. You don't talk about what happens in prison. You don't talk about it when you come home. There's a lot of, combines with your mental health and all sorts of other things. So I'm really excited that, I was able to, that it's successful to me because I'm a procrastinator, but it came together.
Yeah.
People have come and supported. And that's the biggest thing for me. It doesn't matter if one person shows up or two people show up. It's that I went in, I have an idea, I'm doing something, and I'm going to continue to keep it growing and going. And
And you have some really great guests that you bring up to talk to people. And that's what lead us to Jamaica. So Jamaica, a.k.a. Queen Pen, was at the top of the cocaine trade in the peak of the 1980s Los Angeles crack epidemic. After many years and with the help of informants, the FBI became successful in issuing a warrant for her arrest. Facing 25 to life in federal custody, the widowed single mother went on the run for 2 years, living in the shadows. Nothing like a mother's love. Man, watching the documentaries, I was like, these damn kids. As Jamaica secretly attempted to attend her young son's graduation, federal agents placed her in handcuffs while serving a 15-year federal prison. Miss Harrison gave her life to God and began to spread God's grace to other inmates. You were released in 2005 after serving 12 years of a 15-year sentence. Jamaica became an author with her debut Queen Pen memoir. Her story is featured on Drug Lords, Narco Wars, Queen Pen's documentary, and BET's American Gangster, to name a few. Welcome, Jamaica. Welcome. Yes, I'm so excited that you're here. So if you guys have not watched it, I did do my show research and I binge watched documentaries about you. Awesome. No, I don't want to say awesome, but I was like, wow. Tell us about your story. Give us how what's that like being Queen Pen?
Actually, I didn't know I was a queen pen.
Really?
I just was surviving.
Yeah.
And, being a survivor when I was selling, drugs in the streets, I didn't know that, I just wanted better for my family.
Yeah.
And at that time, that's all I knew was to sell drugs. I hooked up, with a young man that, sold weed, and then we took it to the next level selling drugs. Next thing you know, I'm this big drug dealer, but it's nothing to me.
Next thing you know,
I'm just surviving.
Yeah. I while watching the documentary and seeing it, for me, anytime I read, I watch a lot of TV, I always kind of go towards not necessarily the crime that's being committed, but more so the entrepreneurship that comes with these kind of things. And I know this is not the angle that everybody goes with, but for me as a young business owner, a female business owner, for me, when I see those things, exactly. How did you just start off in selling drugs and then were able to survive into, becoming one of the most sought out people that people respected, people were loyal to? How did that work? Because that's what I'm trying to get these people. I feel like I've been like, can y'all just do the job, please? So how did you rise to that type of?
Well, it was like in the early 80s, it was like a lot of black people were selling drugs.
Yeah.
It was in our neighborhoods. And when you see other black people making money, you're like, I want to be a part of that. I want that.
Yeah.
So when my boyfriend was selling weed, I would take the weed and sell it to my friends that smoke weed at school. Mm-hmm. And so then when crack cocaine came out and powder cocaine came out, I said, well, the ones that smoke the weed, let me just introduce that to them. And it started, like at school. Mm-hmm. But to take it to a whole nother level is when, I met an elderly guy. And he showed me how to do, how to weigh, how to sell, how to do it. He taught me the game.
Yeah.
And then me and Daft, my boyfriend at the time that eventually became my baby daddy and my husband, we started selling drugs together and just took it to a whole nother level. And then in the process of that, he got killed.
Yeah.
And I almost lost my son. In the process of that, my son fell in our pool and almost drowned.
Oh, my God. Yeah.
And so when he almost drowned, I went into I was depressed.
Yeah.
I was down. Then some of the guys that used to work for Daff and myself, they was like, Jamaica, we need some work because, we work for Daff. And then when Daff got killed, you became our source. but we need some help. So I just felt compelled at that time to reach out to them because these were the people that helped make me who I am.
Yeah.
I was selling drugs to everybody, but a lot of people didn't know I was the main connection.
Yeah, that was one of the things that I picked up. Like, a lot of people didn't even know that you were the person that was, kind of running things in the background.
Correct.
How did you remain under the cover, under the radar like that?
Well, at that time, I was young, bold, and challenging. So I just, I didn't let anybody just approach me. And at that time, I just felt like I didn't want to talk to everybody.
Yeah.
I picked and choose who I wanted to talk to.
Yeah.
So a lot of people knew that about me in the streets because when you in that world, it's a whole world. So, when people would see me come, it was not a good.
She's coming.
She's coming.
Yes.
And it was like, here come that. Because I didn't play.
Yeah. When you say you didn't play, because that's what a lot of people said. Like in the one of the documentaries, like you were very feared. People, were you violent?
I think I was violent.
I think so.
At that time, I would fight, and I think it's just the way we grew up and the things that I didn't know that I had this anger in me. As a little girl. That stemmed from being evicted and being put out on the street. I said, that's something that I would never want to do for my child or me. And I think that anger made me be real, real tough.
Yeah. What did you know at the time that you were rising to this status and to this level that what you were doing was bad? Like in your head at the moment, I know that you are running things, and like again, I think about it as more so entrepreneurship. Like I'm running a business, not necessarily what I'm selling is bad, but like is that something that you knew was happening? Like the community was being pretty much ran by you.
Well, I think that for me, the frame of mind that I was in at that time, I didn't do drugs. I sold drugs, and I felt that anyone that did drugs
was doing it by choice.
But was doing it by choice.
Yeah.
And if they was doing it, I just felt that hey, well, give me the money.
Yeah.
So at that time, I just was cold-hearted. I didn't have. My heart just was cold. It was all about me. Very selfish.
Yeah. And your son, because that was something that you kept at the forefront of your mind the whole time, is that your son. How were you able to shield him from that life?
Well, now that I think back, I was actually living a double life.
Oh.
Because my mother and father never knew anything that I did.
Really? Did the people around you know? Like your friends and stuff? Because I know that you was spending on them.
7 best friends.
Yeah.
And they knew what I did, but they never discussed nothing with me. Until like one of my friends, when she found out I had a spot in her building, like a drug house, a crack house in her building. She was like, I didn't know you was doing all this in my building, and we ended up getting into a fight and everything. And then
but she was benefiting from it before it was.
I was
in her
paying,
building.
I was helping her. I was, buying. I bought her first Louis, her Gucci, diamonds, everything.
But now that it's close, now she didn't know.
She
it'd be like that.
She didn't know it was. She had an ideal that I was doing it, but it was just nothing I talked about with my friends because my friends were my friends. And this drug life was my drug life.
Yeah.
And I didn't sell drugs to none of my friends that was close to me, that was my girlfriend.
Yeah.
And they didn't do drugs. They were squares. They were different, And I liked being around people that wasn't into my life because when I was around them, it was like, let's go out, let's eat, let's go shopping, let's go to Magic Mountain, let's take our kids to Disneyland, let's expose our kids to the good life. And so I was able to afford those things and take them and their kids to be with my son.
I think that's amazing. Kind of going in, and you can interject anytime you want, kind of going into just kind of the world of I forgot what I was going to say. Kind of going into the world of when you went on the run. just kind of fast forwarding a little bit. You went on the run for 2 years because how did they start to figure out that it was you behind everything? Or like, how did that bring them to you, you know, that led you on the run?
So when an ex-boyfriend of mine got busted in exchange for his freedom, he gave me up.
I saw that, and I was very upset with that. I was like, this mother.
It happens a lot.
Yeah.
You can see a lot of the stories. This is what is said.
Mm-hmm. And you decided to come back because your son was graduating.
Right.
And that was a big risk because I feel like you knew that was a risk. You knew that what was going to happen, but you took that risk anyways. And, you know, like this whole era right now is FTK and all kind of stuff, like whatever with these kids or whatever. You know, like what compelled you besides him? Like, why was it so important for you to show up at his graduation knowing that this could be the last time that you show up for anything for a while?
It was important for me to show up at my son's graduation because in the process of me being on the run, I would sneak in and see my son in the middle of the night and take him with me sometime and do things with him outside of me being on the run. I would do things with him.
Yeah.
So one day he said, Mom, you know, my graduation is coming, and are you going to come to my graduation? And then when I called home one day, you know, my mom said, are you going to come to his graduation? Because in my mind, I felt, well, it's almost 2 years, close to 2 years of me being on the run.
They ain't looking for me.
They ain't looking for me.
Yeah, they got other things to do.
I'm little old me. You know, I'm not thinking that I'm, you know, on American Most Wanted, that I'm this big drug dealer. In my mind, I'm like a little piece of the pie. That's what I thought.
But did you know how big you were?
Didn't know how big I was until I was arrested and the DA called me Queen Pen, and I wanted to just crawl up under the table.
So how did you not know? Yeah. How did you not know? Because I only found out about queen pins and stuff like that from Power. And so when I was hearing it, I'm like, because I've always heard of the kingpin, and then I was like, oh, you know, obviously that's what a queen pin would be. But like, how did you not know that you were that big? Like, you were running in circles with like some of the biggest, most famous people everywhere. Your house was large, all kinds of stuff. How come you didn't know that? Because I was like, yo, she's lit.
I just was surviving.
Yeah.
So I didn't think that I was this big drug dealer because it was, you know, I had girlfriends, but the guys that I knew, they had big houses. It was a lot of big drug dealers in that day.
Yeah.
And because of my husband being a drug dealer, I became a big drug dealer, and I took over his empire after he got killed. So it's just surviving in the streets.
Yeah.
So I'm not thinking I'm this big drug dealer.
You just thinking you just out here working.
I'm just thinking I'm doing good. I'm living the best life. I'm thinking this is, gonna last forever.
But you also had a hair business.
So I was just about to bring that up. So like, when did the hair, why the hair business, and why you stopped that? Because that is a booming industry now.
So this is how I got
time.
Before I got into the hair business, this guy used to do my hair, and I said, you know, I want to invest in something.
Yeah.
And so then I said, give me some ideas. And, you know, he was like, oh, girl, go on and you always wearing wigs and weaves and stuff. Go on and sell some hair.
Yeah.
And just something went off in my head. And it's so ironic that I started doing researching on hair and everything. So I ended up going to Italy, Rome, Paris, Milan.
Wow.
And so come to find out, I'm like 22, 23 years old. And I'm in Rome.
In Rome at 22, shopping for hair.
And then come to find out, the way they sell their hair is in kilos.
Oh, so you was like, oh, I know exactly what I'm doing here. I know this.
and ounces.
Yeah. Oh, so you were like, oh, this is the drug game gone different. Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I think I can take this hair game to another level.
Yeah.
So I ended up getting a connection in Italy, and I came back to the United States, and then I developed a friendship with the family in Italy.
Okay.
So I would So I hooked up with this girl that used to do all the celebrities' hair, and then the guy that used to do celebrity hair. Because I would always go to the top hair people to get my hair done. I'm into hair and and wigs. I started doing wigs and stuff. And so I had the hair, and I said, let me try this hair myself. And it was like the bomb.
Yeah. You still got those connects now.
We need those.
But you made up a good point too. Like, you got into the hair game long before people were thinking about
first black hair distributor in the world.
Exactly. And I was like, when I saw that part, I was like, that's way before time. That's way before time.
But
like, it was very interesting.
Black women would wear weaves, like Gladys Knight, Janet Jackson, Michael Jackson, Sherelle, Mickey Howell, Holly B. Robinson. All these were my clients.
Wow.
Robin Givens. Yeah. But I had to sign waivers that I couldn't say they had hair in their hair because nobody wanted to be known then.
Nowadays, they'd be like, girl, this is a whatever.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't a thing.
Yeah. They didn't want you to know they had weave in their hair.
Yeah. That is just so, that was one of the most interesting things. Again, back to entrepreneurism. Like, you had that already ingrained in you from being a boss from before. And now you in the world, like, history is being made as a hair distributor. That obviously ended when you went to jail. What happened in jail that turned your life around?
So when I was on the run, and I got arrested, I still was selling hair from jail.
Oh, really? That's
lit. I had a friend running my company because I had so many clients that, like a bad month was $60,000 a month selling hair. Because I got to the level of I only was selling Italian hair.
Okay.
So remember the video where Janet Jackson did Pleasure Principle and she did the black bip? That's my hair.
That's your hair.
That's my hair.
Look at that.
We have to put that. We got to make up.
Yeah, we got to make a reel of all of the things that you did. And I don't want to, like, I'm more so interested, not because I'm glorifying, criminal activity and stuff. And obviously, that now because you've completely changed your life around to be able to help people. Yeah. But, like, for me, it's always just so interesting the path that people take to get to places. And maybe that was just your path you needed to take to get to where you are now. Now you are in church. You're an evangelist. How do you say?
I'm an evangelist.
An evangelist.
Yes.
And you do talks and speeches to people about the life and how to not go down that path. What's your message now?
So my message is that I didn't know that God had a purpose and plan for me.
Absolutely.
Until I was behind those doors and I couldn't do nothing but call out on God. So I said, God, if you really real, change me, come into my heart, keep me humble and pure, and let me get through this time.
Yeah.
And I will serve you to the day I die. So I just cried out to God, and he said, you're going to write a book, you're going to do a movie. And I'm like, God, are you talking to me?
Is that you?
Yeah. So I started journaling while I was in jail, the things that I wanted to do. And I didn't know that the guy that was looking at life, he allowed me to be set up to get eternal life with God. So I'm not mad. A lot of people send me emails, send me messages saying, oh, he's a snitch, he's dead. Yeah, he did what he had to do. I just couldn't snitch. I just couldn't rat.
Yeah.
I just know that in my heart, God showed me very early in jail, he had a bigger plan for me as such as this. Yeah. So such as time as where I'm here right now today, I tell people one of my favorite scriptures is Revelation 12:11. I'm an overcomer by the blood of the Lamb and the word of my testimony to help save other people alive. So I'm like, John the Baptist came to say, to share hope, but I'm here to tell you that I am hope.
Yeah.
Because I should be dead, but I survived the drug game, and now it's like I'm kingdom gender. I'm about winning souls for Christ. I'm nothing like the person I used to be. I'm totally changed. And people that know God and people that know the street and people that know me personally, they're like, you're totally
Who's that?
different.
Yeah.
Who's that? I can't even believe it. My husband is always saying, if I didn't know who you were, I wouldn't know that you were Queen Pen.
Right.
Because I'm so different now, because I know I'm following God's plan, and life is full circle. So the same people that I sold drugs to, the same neighborhood that I went into, now I'm going back to that community, and I'm saving lives and leading people to Christ.
How are you received when you see those people from back in the day? Like, do they understand the change, or do they revert back to who you were before? Or is that kind of hard to kind of transition them into looking at you differently?
Well, they understand the change because I was not approachable.
Don't.
And I'm approachable now.
Yeah.
You know,
so like the whole demeanor.
I'm at peace.
Yeah.
I'm more calm now.
Because you talked about anger earlier.
Yeah.
Did you have that problem in prison when you were kind of, going through this transition from the time that you started until the time that you got out, to the time you got out? What was that like?
Well, when I was in prison, I didn't really know a lot of people in prison. So people wanted to know who I was.
Yeah.
So the first thing they would say, oh, she a snitch. Because they'll say, well, what you in here for? How much time you got? And I would say, do you know Jesus? Because you couldn't help me.
Yeah.
I got all this time. I'm looking at 25 to life and sentenced to 15 years. And on 15 years, I did 12 years. So I'm like, you can't help me. So let's talk about something positive. I always try to talk positive when I was in there. And that's how I was able to get through the time. So I didn't let the time do me. I did the time.
I did the time.
And I came out with peace, love, joy, kindness, gentleness. So I'm able to say, hey, you can change if you want change.
Yeah. How do you look on getting a little bit political now? How do you look at the war on drugs then compared to how things are going right now? Where it just seems like, us black people are before they were quick to throw us in jail and all kinds of stuff and do whatever. Now there's all kind of programs, there's safe injection, there's all kinds of stuff that would have probably made things a lot easier back in the day, but now it is not. Go ahead. Hold on, let me take this phone call. Caller, you're live.
So I have a question.
Hold on 1 second. I'm gonna put the headphones on.
Put the headphones on.
Yeah. I think you have a pair too.
You can hear the caller.
Yep.
I'm not.
Can you hear the caller you hear now?
Yeah, I can hear.
Did you hear them? Okay, good.
So my question, I'm gonna still call her a queen because she had to do what she had to do.
Oh.
Now, my question to her is, while doing this business, and I'm gonna call it a business because it is a business, where was your, what you call, I wouldn't say hench because, hench interrupts a lot of things. Where was your right hand and where was your left hand? Meaning, where was your guys that had your back for if anything goes down or if there's word on the street to let you know, listen, these guys are coming for you. You need to be on your P's and Q's, and you need to make sure you get yourself situated just in case you really have to maybe not see your son again, but just to get away so you didn't really have to be out, thinking everything was cool. That was my question. Where was your backs to make sure you was covered?
Who had
that
your
was
back
my
and
question.
where were they? Thank you.
Good
I appreciate
question.
you.
Good question. But the thing about it is, if you know my story is, it was the closest person to me that turned me in. The man that I was sleeping with, my ex-boyfriend.
Yeah. What
So
was
the
his
guy-
name again?
Cheese.
Yeah, Cheese.
Percy Bratton.
Yes,
From Alton, Illinois. He's the one. He was my ex-boyfriend.
I know that one,
Yeah.
yes.
He's the one. So the people that worked for me, they had my back. They're the ones that told me, the FBI is, asking questions about you. That's why I ended up going on the run.
Oh, okay. So so you knew that, but then when you were on the run for 2 years again, you were just like, that's 2 years from now. They should be all set with that.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. So that makes sense. That does make
Yeah.
sense. And then back to the question about, how you see, the drug I wouldn't say the game, but drugs going now and outside you can take them off, and things like that. Like how do you think about what it was and now how it is?
Well, it's just so sad that in the 80s it was all black people getting locked up.
Yeah.
And now it's like when white people get locked up, they have treatments, they have programs for them, but they didn't offer none of that for us. Because remember, I didn't get busted with no money. I didn't get busted with no drugs. Someone got on the stand and testified that I was a drug dealer.
And just from that testimony,
Yeah, first time offender, 25 to life.
That's crazy too.
The federal case.
Federal case, first time offender, 20 to 25 to life, based on just one person's account of what
Testimony.
happened. That's insane.
Yeah.
And nowadays, unless you get caught with all of that stuff and you're white, you're not going anywhere. Nothing's going to happen to you. Yeah.
Right. It's sad.
It is sad. I mean, I see it now even in the weed game. Like weed is legal now. Still, we are not able to open up these shops fast enough. We are not able to get approval. There's so many things happening and the same thing is happening. The white folks are able to franchise in 8 different spots, take all of the things and whatever.
It's still black people that's incarcerated for marijuana.
Yes. There's people incarcerated for marijuana that literally just smoked it. Go ahead.
Sorry, I normally don't do this, but this is what, because you say federal charges, right?
Right.
The crazy part about it was cocaine, crack game.
Correct.
The cocaine came from the federal government.
Correct.
This is proven. Like people went to federal, a general went on trial for it, right? And they got you for that. That's the craziest thing to me. Sorry, I just had to say.
So like they are the original kingpins, the government, but they let everybody else underneath them take the fall while they're sitting around now starting programming and stuff for other people.
And in federal cases, they don't even have to have evidence.
Really?
It's just about one person saying your name
Conspiracy.
and then conspiracy, and everyone can get a conspiracy charge. If I made a phone call to you and we're on a wiretap, and you just say that you acknowledge that you know me, now you can have a conspiracy charge and be in federal prison.
Wow.
So there doesn't have to be. She didn't have to get caught with drugs in her hand or money on her hand. It was already said that this is what she's doing, so she can go to prison for circumstantial evidence.
That's so crazy to me, and I'll never understand it. But I guess I don't know the law. Now your life is different. You are speaking to people. You have humbled. You have changed all kinds of things. What do you do in your daily life now?
In my daily life, every day, every day, I'm about winning souls for Christ.
Yeah,
and kingdom agenda. And telling my testimony and telling my story. And that's what brings me here to Boston.
My mom.
Tell us where you're gonna be, because if you guys want to hear more about Jamaica's story and all kinds of stuff, Yana Bean again with this series. Tell us when these series happen and who else you've brought there and all kinds of good things.
Well, actually, tomorrow is the big day for me with Jamaica. It's going to be at the Roxbury Branch Library. And we start at 10 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. So between 10 and 11, we're going to do like the meet and greet, have some, breakfast and stuff, get to know each other, some icebreaker. And then Miss Heston will go into her story. And I'll have some books there as well. And the next one will be in April. So I've been doing it. I've had nine sessions in the series. It's a total of 9, and I've started back in November. So I've had a lot of people there. I've had George Powell, who did the movie The Walk. He's from Boston, Massachusetts. I have the pleasure of always having support from Julian Miller, who is also from Boston, motivational speaker. He has a great story. Just did a 4-page spread in Boston Magazine. I've had Dennis Reed, who is one of the biggest producers on Tubi for Homestead Productions, giving his story as well.
It's so amazing how you're
and
naming
today
off
she
of
has
these.
Queen Pen.
Queen Pen, exactly. It's
The
so amazing.
The ladies are represented today.
And I have adopted her as my daughter.
That's right.
You know, we both was on Trap Queens.
Yep.
Yes.
And I was originally, I shot the pilot for Trap Queens. And we were on the first season together of Trap Queens.
Yeah, and how we met was first of all, I want to say one thing. She says that she's changed. Yes, I'm sure. I'm certain. But every time when I know for a fact any song would be, you still can't play with her. That Lola Brooke, you still not.
Don't play with this. Don't play. Yeah.
You cannot. And one of those things is because it's about respect.
Yeah.
Respect, and that's the biggest thing that I could say. She reached out to me when my episode was airing, and from that day we're connected. We're connected from that day, and it's just.
I said
about
you're my daughter.
Yeah, I would not disagree.
Yeah.
But we
because
gotta get some new
your
some more
stories.
hair.
I mean, your stories are so similar, not in the extremities, but like you were. It was survival for you too.
Yes.
And I think that is. When you were talking about the people that you have in these for this series, all of these people are very prominent people that people can know about, and they have a tainted past that they have changed for the better, and now their lives, what they went through, has caused them to come to this point where they can speak out, where you can save souls.
Right.
You can bring these people to help the community. Right. And I think that it's really like people might look at you and be like, oh my God, you did all of this. But what are you doing now? And I think what you're doing now in this time is so much more important because you're using your experience, you're using everything you went through to now teach people like, I've been there, I've done that. I rose to the top of the game. It ain't all that it's supposed to be because at the end of the day, now I got to talk to you about fixing your life. My young intern here, like she has so much going on for her and trying to figure out like where she wants to go. She's so involved in so many other things. And I think it's so important for her to be able to hear stories like this because, she's young and I want them to make sure that they have everything you need. What do you think listening to all of this?
Yeah, I liked it. I really liked listening and learning from you guys. I would say the only question I have is really like, what was your childhood like? Because a lot of the stuff and the way you guys speak, that's how I come off. And like when you were saying like you were unapproachable, that's how I am. And I'm trying to change it because it's like, I don't want to be that type of person where I feel like people can't come up and talk to me. And although like we have completely different stories.
And it's probably not as different as you think. It's probably got a lot of overlapping things.
Right? There's some things that I see that overlap in your story and my story, and it's making me wonder, like, maybe we had a similar childhood that made us have to feel like we had to be this way. So I just wanted to hear a little bit about your childhood and what you went through.
So when I was in the 3rd grade, my parents divorced. My mother was a probation officer. My father was a construction worker and later on became a minister. But when they separated, my father left my mother for a white lady.
Anger.
And I think I picked up the anger that my mother felt that she never let out.
Ooh, okay.
And so my mother was a very tough, strong black lady because she worked for California Youth Authority, probation officer. And so she was a real tough lady, very strong and very proudful because she's from the South, Mississippi. So if she was not doing good, she would never let you know. 82 to this day, she's still the same way. And so when we got evicted from our home and we had to stay in a motel with, rats and roaches for like a few months until my mother can get herself together. And I ended up going to Mississippi to live with my mother's parents because I had never met them. And I said, well, where's your parents? Because I'm a little girl. And she told me where they were. I said, well, I'm going to go meet them. And then when I went to meet them, they had this nice big home.
Wow.
And I'm like wondering, why we didn't have, this in California. But my mother left Mississippi because of the things that was going on, the racism, to get away from that. So when I went back there, I stayed with my grandparents, and for them to have a nice home, and you have breakfast, you have, lunch together, you have dinner together. And that's where it started from, that.
You wanted that.
Yeah. I wanted that.
Yeah.
And I think that you probably can relate to it because it's just a different time.
Yeah.
But they're really the same things.
Yeah.
It's the same things.
Stemming from some type of trauma from someone.
Somewhere, or even if just when you're young and you see different things, it's like something will affect you in a way.
Mm-hmm.
And
even if
sometimes you
it's
don't know
just
what it
one
is.
little thing.
Yeah.
So you have to, meeting me and hearing my story, I want you to take this day to reflect on yourself later on today, and just say, what is it that's in me that I can change so I can release anger, depression,
anxiety,
hurt, pain, and replace that.
Yeah.
How can I replace that with joy and love and peace? For me, it was God. Because remember when I was in that cell, that's when all that was released. Because I'm like, they say there's a God, but is there really a God? So if it is, show me. Yeah. I hear what Grandma's saying. I hear what Mama's saying. I went to church every Sunday with my grandparents and my mother. And then when I got grown, I made my son go to church. But I didn't have a relationship with God.
Right.
That was when my life changed, the relationship. Yeah. How did I get into a relationship with God? The same way I got a relationship with my boyfriend. I spent time with him. I went to the movies with him. I held his hand. So now with God, it's like all I have is the Bible, because I can't see him, I can't touch him, I can't feel him. But if you real, show me in this word. So the word became life to me and alive to me. And as I'm reading it, I'm like, joy. I felt joy coming up. I felt love coming up. I felt power coming up. I felt life coming up. And the anger was replaced with all of those things.
I think that's such a hardcore testimony to, kind of replace trauma with joy in a way through something you can't see, but you can feel and you can acknowledge and you can read about. I think that there's so much more that we can talk about, but for the intro, we've gone over about 15 minutes. Show been done. But I was so enthralled in the story and just you two powerful women just being here and talking so honestly and rawly about your experience and how you've been able to change and being able to just from research know more about you, but in a friendship with Ayana, just really kind of, watching her move and reading her story and watching her story and now seeing what she's doing. I think it's just so important for not only young people to hear, but anybody, no matter what age, to understand. The event that you guys will be speaking at is tomorrow?
Tomorrow at the Roxbury Library, 10 a.m. to 1:30 p.m.
We will post it's on our Instagram, but I'll post it again for you guys to make sure that you guys go on and hear this story. Tell a friend to come out and go out. Like Saturday mornings is usually everybody's just chill morning. But sometimes I be looking for something to do too. Like I want to go somewhere on a Saturday morning. This would be a really great way to kind of start your day off right. And then make sure that you are getting the information you need to make better choices in life and to be better and to want to do better. Thank you for your inquisitiveness and sitting here and listening to it and for holding us down today. Javi, thank you as well. And thank you, ladies, for coming.
And thank you for having us.
Thank you. It's been such a pleasure. Like I said, I'm a big fan. So
I'm a fan of you.
We got to go, people. We got to slide on over to the side because we did take up a lot of your time. Thank you guys who sat down and kind of just stuck with us and hooked us and hung out with us. DJ Live is up next, trying to get you guys ready for the weekend. So keep it locked right here. Spark FM Online. Thank you guys again for coming. And we'll see y'all on Monday.
The only thing that does matter is great music, and you will find it here.
The all-new Spark FM. On Tuesday, February 28th, please join Saucy Media and Spark FM at La Fabrica in Cambridge, Mass. for a night of cannabis industry, networking, and an authentic Caribbean experience.
Finally the herbs come around.
Presented by Green Gold Group, Western Front, and the new cannabis product line by the legendary David Ortiz.
This is a two-part event. From 7 to 11, Saucy Media is hosting the Saucy Connects Brands and Retail Business-to-Business Networking Mixer. For only $60, come early to network with leaders and influencers in the cannabis industry. Enjoy authentic Caribbean cuisine, a steel pan performance, and carnival presentation, all hosted by Jennifer G.
Later that night, from 11 to 1 a.m., Spark FM takes over the venue with live music featuring Roots Alley Collective, followed by DJ Rockstone Trills to turn up the vibes. This part of the night is open to the public, 21 plus, and only $20 to enter.
This event has also partnered with the Worcester Caribbean American Carnival Association and Boston Society of Caribbean Culture and Heritage to bring you a very authentic experience you don't want to miss. Meet us on the 28th at La Fabrica in Cambridge.
Have questions about the COVID vaccine or booster? Need help making the right decision for you? The COVID vaccine and booster have been proven as safe and effective options and are now readily available to adults and children alike. Harbor Health wants to help make sure our community is healthy and safe. Visit hhsi.us/COVID vaccine for help with vaccine information. Let's make our community a COVID safe harbor for everyone. Get your booster now. Brought to you by your friends at Harbor Health.
Hi, Rosa. How are the kids? Good. But I have a question about the COVID vaccine. Kids who had COVID have immunity, right? True. They have some immunity, but also true, vaccines strengthen that immunity. But how do you know if it's safe? The vaccine was developed so fast.